Hey guys, in today's video I'm going to be going over my more high-end eyeshadow palettes. I did a video similar to this about a year ago and my collection has grown since, so I decided that I would do an updated version with only the high-end eyeshadow palettes that I own. So I'm going to be showing you each one and also the insides and just telling you a little bit of my personal opinion on the palette itself. So let's go ahead and get into it. This is not in any particular order at all. I just have all of them stacked up in front of me and I'm just going to grab them one by one and be showing them to you. So the first palette that I have here is the Urban Decay Naked 3. It's got a little bit of a rose gold packaging and on the inside it has more of the rosy blush type of eyeshadows, which I really love. I think that these are all so beautiful. They work very well. They blend nicely and I just think they're really nice, unique colors, and I love this palette so much, especially for like Valentine's Day and stuff like that. These are really nice colors. Next we have the Urban Decay Naked 2 palette, and the eyeshadows were actually falling out of the palette itself, like they just kind of fall out. But other than that, I really like this palette. It's really nice and neutral. I do wish that it had more mattes because a lot of them are shimmery, but the colors are nice, and compared to the Naked 3, there's a very big difference in the shades. You can see here, this one's a lot more pink and this one's more neutral, but I really do like them both. Next I have the Lorac Pro palette, and it looks like this on the inside. This has been one of my favorite palettes for a while now until they came out with the Lorac Pro palette 2. So here they are side by side. Out of the two of these, I like the Pro palette 2 better than the original one. I just think that the colors are more unique and you can tell that I got a lot more use out of this one than the original. Each row on the top has matte shades and the bottoms have more shimmery shades. So I like the variety of color and texture of the eyeshadows. These are both really great palettes and they're still two of my favorites out of my entire collection. Then I have the Lorac Pro To Go palette, and it's got 4 eyeshadows, 2 highlights that you can also use as eyeshadows if you wanted to. And then on the other side it has 2 blushes and a bronzer. This bronzer is really a nice bronzer. I used it every day for the longest time until I got a contour palette. But this is a really nice palette for traveling or if you're going anywhere. It's got pretty much everything that you need as far as eyeshadows and face powders. So that's a good one. Since I'm kind of going in the theme of pairs of 2, I'm going to go on to the Tartelette palette. The packaging on the Tartelette palettes is so cute. I love the gold on the bottom and the sides and the ombre purple on the front. So the original Tartelette palette is all matte. It's got more neutral and purple type shades in it. And then I also have the Tartelette 2 palette. It's got the same with the gold. It's just got more of a floral watercolor type look on the front. And the inside of the Tartelette 2, it's got a little bit more of a rosy blush type eyeshadow scheme going on here. But this one, it's not all matte. It actually has 3 shimmer shades, which I really like. This is one of my very top favorites out of my collection. I'm holding them weird so I don't blind you guys. But here they are side by side. I love them both, but out of the 2 of them, I like number 2 the best, just because it has more of a wide variety. But I think that both of these palettes are really great, and I think that everyone should probably own at least one of these because they're amazing. Okay, moving on, this is the Smashbox Studio Pop palette. This palette has a lot going on. It's got lip glosses, eyeliners, which I've never used. It's got blush in here, and then the middle has so many eyeshadows. I don't even know how many, but there is an eyeshadow for every occasion and every color you could possibly want. It's in here. I used to use this so often, but I don't as much anymore. I probably should get into it again. But this is a really nice palette and it has everything you could need, pretty much. Next I have this little mini Urban Decay Naked Basics palette. This one has one shimmer shade in the front, which is good for highlight, and then the rest are all matte. And I use this one here on my eyebrows, and everyone needs a light shadow for every day. So this palette's really great. I get so much use out of it. I know they have a Naked Basics too, but I do not own that yet, so I'll have to look into that. But I really do like this. It's so tiny and convenient, and like I said, you get a lot of use out of it. Next I have the Anastasia Beverly Hills Maya Mia palette. The reason I bought this palette was for the caramel and sienna because I really wanted more of a red brown eyeshadow at the time. These eyeshadows are really pretty. I really like the Glisten shade, and it's got the neutrals and a few pops of color in there, so you can do a lot with this one. Then I have the Z palette, and it's got Makeup Geek eyeshadows in it. It's a little bit of a mess, but I do have a black and a cream from my Urban Decay Naked 2 palette because they kept falling out, so I just stuck them in here. But I have a few Makeup Geek eyeshadows. I like all of these top ones. They're great for every day. This middle row is also really good. And I have like more purple and gray at the bottom. I just think that I can do a lot with this. I have not been using it very much for some reason. I don't know why. But so far, the eyeshadows are pretty good. They're not the greatest I've ever tried, but I like them. Next I have my Too Faced Chocolate Bar palette, and this is one of my favorites. It's got a really nice mixture of matte and shimmers. It's also got a really nice mixture of color and neutral shadows, and it smells like chocolate, which is amazing. So I get a lot of use out of this one as well. This is probably also one of my favorites out of all of my eyeshadow palettes. And I know that they also do have a number 2, the Semi-Sweet, but I don't own that one. I don't know if I ever will because I'm pretty content with this, and the Semi-Sweet is more neutral, where this one has a little bit more color in it, which is why I prefer this one. And the final palette in my collection, and also my newest one, is the Kat Von D Mi Vida Loca Remix. And this has every color you could ever imagine inside of it. They are a combination of matte and shimmer shades. It's got all the neutrals in the middle and pretty much all the colors of the rainbow on the outside, which is amazing. I don't really get into colored eyeshadow that much, but I think that this would be perfect to get me back into the colored eyeshadow. This is so beautiful, so unique, and I cannot wait to get more use out of it. I'm actually wearing this today. I'm wearing the more orange shades and the neutrals on my eyes. But I'm so excited to play around with this. I can't really give you a full opinion on it yet because I've only used it once. But as you can tell, it's probably going to be great. So thank you guys so much for checking out this video. Please be sure to subscribe to my channel if you have not already. And I will be seeing you in my next one. Bye guys.